It's been a while since I went live, and I had every intention of discussing a different topic, but uh, I'm late to the party as usual. But I wanted to discuss this whole Montgomery, Alabama Riverboat brawl. Shout out to everybody that's in the live stream and watching the replay. Can you do me a favor before we go any further? Do me a favor. Hit the like button right now. It lets YouTube know that this is a video worth sharing. It costs you nothing. So you can support the channel by doing that. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and join the Harrison Extended family. Is it me or is that pretty loud? That was pretty loud. I'm going to have to make some adjustments here real quick. Bear with me one moment. Let me lower that. Let's see this. A little better, a little better. All right. And so everybody's going crazy about this whole video. The brawl and the videos of the brawl, the memes. Oh my gosh. Insane. Danger. We are going to talk about some things today. And let me say this, okay? Preface this. I do not condone violence of any kind. I don't. I do support someone defending themselves if need be. I also support defending other people who cannot defend themselves. But I do not condone violence. I really don't like it. To be perfectly honest with you, watching the whole video of the brawl, the different pieces, like they had like the Batcave, video surveillance of what's happening through people's cell phones and stuff. But it was hard for me to watch the violence. I got to be honest with you, because I can watch. I like boxing. I like watching boxing. I like the skill, the art of boxing. I can even appreciate UFC, but I can't watch it all the time. Be honest with you. So when I see videos of people just fighting, I don't like it because I don't condone violence. But this one I watched, and I probably felt a few emotions, including laughter. I was laughing. I felt angry. I felt sad. Initially, I felt a sense of relief. And I'm going to explain to you why. There are people that's going to remain silent about this situation because they're afraid of what their friends may think. Everybody has an opinion. Opinion is free. And my opinion may differ from yours. I'm not going to like you any less. I just don't agree. And yeah, you may not even like this take, but I promise you it's coming from a genuine place. So, the river boat brawl. It turns out that the co-captain, who everybody thought was the security guard, got off the boat to move another boat that wasn't supposed to be docked there because that space was reserved or needed to be used so that the people who are hosting the riverboat could, I guess, let the people off so that another group of people can come on. And when they attempted to hail using megaphones and all that stuff, the people who owned the boat, the private boat, they were using expletives, telling them no, using what they thought was their privilege and their entitlement. And as you can see, it backfired heavily, heavily. And some may say the privilege stems from what they are, the color of their skin. And the truth be told, that's a safe assumption. It's not an easy assumption to accept, but it is a safe assumption that a person could, or a group of people can park a boat anywhere they want without consideration of where they should be and if that space is reserved for, an example, a riverboat. So the co-captain of the riverboat got off to move the boat. And apparently,
danger.
those people that owned the boat, who happened to be white, The riverboat captain, co-captain, was black. Didn't like what was happening. So they tried to stop him. And initially it seemed like it was just like, an exchange. The co-captain was trying to convince him to do it. They weren't listening. He was getting frustrated. They were getting frustrated. No blows was exchanged. And then the first hit. And then another hit from a guy from across the way running in, doing a flying knee. And if I could describe the videos that I've seen, it would probably be the epitome of mess around and find out.
Danger.
Mess around and find out. Now, Montgomery, Alabama has a history, a not so nice history. Even where this incident took place, didn't have a really nice history. Now, did it? Slave trades. Y'all remember the boycott of the bus during the civil rights movement? Did that happen in Montgomery, Alabama? So there's a history of racism in Montgomery, Alabama. Now, will I say that this was race motivated? It's a safe assumption. Look at everything that transpired. Okay. But then the optics also made it look like it was a racist situation. You have a family of people or friends or whatever they were jumping on the riverboat co-captain who happened to be black. That don't look good. That don't look good. And I don't know if they thought this all the way through before putting their hands on that guy, because they didn't realize that the riverboat was full of black people. The crew full of black people. The spectators around looking to board the boat again, black people. So I don't know if they thought this all the way through. And that is because of their entitlement, what people would consider their privilege. So they started beating up on this guy, and the fighting did stop. They stopped beating him up. He's walking away. As far as what I saw in all the different angles that I saw, all the videos that was posted, and I'm not showing the video here because YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and all these platforms are removing videos that have any kind of violence in it, including that of the videos shown or uploaded by the people watching this Montgomery, Alabama brawl. So what I won't do is play the video, because first, I don't condone violence. Second, I have students on occasion that I teach that will watch my channel. I don't want them exposed to that. I'm talking about it, but I don't want them to see it. And again, I don't want anything to happen to this video. So, but I'm not talking to anybody who probably hasn't seen the video. If you clicked on this video, you probably already saw, and I'm just giving you my take. So now watch this. Mess around and find out, right? Everything was over. They went back to the boat. The dude swam across the river, tried to offer aid. All right. Then when the boat docked, that's when all HD double hockey sticks, broke loose. Like it was mayhem, because they thought that they can beat up somebody, a co-captain of a riverboat, nonetheless, who have a crew that aids him. They thought that they were safe after everything was done, and apparently not, because when the people got off the boat from partying, the crew people got off the boat from working, they went straight to those people that was on their little boat, and they gave them the business. I think they learned the lesson that they will probably never forget. Never forget. Shout out to the real Nathan Daly, who labeled those people who didn't want to move their private boat. Shout out to him, because he labeled them as thugs. Now, here's my thing, America. This was a co-captain of a riverboat. Some thought that he was a security guard. Nonetheless, that spot was reserved for the riverboat. They didn't want to move. And then when he tried to get them to move, they jumped him. They jumped him. Now, I say this all the time. I even said this to the real Nathan Daly. You cannot dictate how somebody responds to your offense. The people that were watching the co-captain get beat up and pummeled by those 3-4 men. Now, mind you, the women that was there, they weren't hitting him. They were not hitting him. According to the video I saw, they were trying to get their family or friends off the guy. Okay, except for that one lady. I think it was one lady who tried to push him and he wound up pushing her. But when everybody got off the boat, they went straight to beeline right to those people to defend the person that they jumped. Now, at that point, I was like, wow, this is how tables have turned, because had this been the 1960s, that would have never happened. Like people who are black would have had to watch and do absolutely nothing. Crazy, right? And those people that got off the boat wanted to send a clear message. Clear. You ready? You ready? This is not 1960 anymore. It's not 19. We don't live in the 60s anymore. They wanted that message loud and clear, and it was loud and clear. Mind you, it's been a while. I'm just trying to figure out where my stuff is.
We don't do that.
Danger.
Where's my what? There we go. That's what I wanted. Yeah. This ain't 1960 anymore. We don't live in the 60s anymore. All right. We throw hands here. We even throw chairs. When you take that kind of approach to you not having your way, that's a place of entitlement and privilege. So when people refer to certain behaviors as white privilege, it's because of things like this. So in certain elements, it does exist. I feel that it exists. I find that it exists. Not with everybody. But situations like this, that's what it appears to be. Or privilege of status. Maybe they have some money and they felt they can do whatever they want. But when you put your hands on somebody, and when 5 of you guys are jumping on somebody that doesn't look like you on a dock where slaves used to be sold, the optics aren't good. The people who do relate to the young man who was jumped, who share the same pigmentation, they're going to feel a type of way. And you know what they're going to do? Something about it. And that's exactly what they did. They showed up and showed out. They put those thugs on notice, put them on blast, and told them, we don't do that here.
We don't do that here.
Shout out to King T'Challa. We don't do that here. This isn't going to fly here. Okay, we throw hands here. We throw chairs here. We will defend our people if necessary. Now, that part was a little bit of a relief for me, because when I watched him get jumped, I was like, this isn't right. Somebody's got to do something. And then 2 guys, a white guy who I think worked for the dock, tried to break it up. And then those people tried to go after him. And a guy who happened to be black ran down the ramp trying to break it up. They weren't throwing hands. Okay. And they started like pushing him around. Dude was kind of sizable. So I'm pretty sure they saw him and he was like, yeah, they looked at the riverboat co-captain and was like, chubby guy, I could take him. But it wasn't over. They thought it was over. They were about to go in their boat. They thought, okay, we did what we did. Let's try to get out of here. Once that riverboat docked, it was over for them. It was over for them. They got given the business. Now, objectively speaking, some people, from what I saw, did take it a little far. However, we can't dictate how people respond to our offenses toward them. But you have a dude who has made the folding chair famous. He hit the guy and then hit a woman who was on the... Now, I don't care what you say. Black, white, red, whatever pigmentation your skin is. To hit a woman on the ground with a chair who was not directly threatening you at the moment was whack. I'm going to say it. Y'all making a joke out of it, all right? I think it was really whack for him to take the chair and hit her on with it while she was on the floor. Now, the other dude that was coming at him, all's fair in love and war, right? So if you're coming at me and I got something in my hand, trust and believe, I am going to hit you with it. But lady on the floor, like, let's be objective here. Some of us are out there smiling about it and laughing about it, but it was that part was uncalled for. And he got arrested, I believe, and he's probably going to face charges for that. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. He should face charges for that. But based on everything else that I saw, it was a group of people coming to defend somebody who essentially was defenseless, being beat up on by, I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4 men, right? And yeah, it wasn't cool. It wasn't cool. So I felt anger that this was happening. I felt relief that the people were coming to defend this man. I felt sad that, honestly, that lady got hit in the head with the chair. But the aftermath of all that seemed to be a little comical, because you can't open up Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, which I don't really use, or anything without seeing some meme involving a folding chair. Like, it's absolutely crazy. Walmart. I saw a picture of Walmart, right? Displaying folding chairs for $13 and something cents, right? One thing people are going to do, they're going to capitalize off of something. But let's not, we're talking a little bit about it in jest, but let's get back to some serious stuff, right? What happened there was extremely sad, uncalled for and sad. And what it exposed is the undercurrent of racial issues that currently still exist in America, the frustrations that people have. And it leads me to the question, like, when are we ever going to get to a place where this won't be in this country? Can we get to that place? Truth be told, I would like to see it. I would like to see us get to a place where we're not dealing with the stupid nonsense of racial issues. Little transparency. I have students who are aware of them being Black and aware of white people, and they talk like they've had negative experiences with white people. But you know where they're getting that from? Grown-ups around them. I didn't experience my first race issue until I moved to Staten Island, and I was well into my teenage years. I remember going to daycare, and it was pretty much Black owned and Black run, but we never thought about it like that. And we learned history. We learned American history. And when we learned American history, we learned it all. It wasn't like, here's Black history. We learned history as if how it should have been taught. You know, we knew the presidents, we knew some of the civil rights freedom fighters, we knew people who invented things, we knew how who Native Americans, how they contributed. We learned all that when I was like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? It wasn't until I moved to Staten Island when I realized, wow, like, racism really does exist. It's crazy. Insane. Racism put me in a hospital for a couple of days with a shattered cheekbone and nerve damage till this day right here. Because I was a black boy in the wrong neighborhood. Right? So people have experiences like that. People know people who have experiences like that. In Montgomery, Alabama, many of those people, I'm pretty sure, had relatives that may have been lynched, fire hosed, all that stuff. And now all that trauma is resurfacing, all the generational trauma resurfacing as black people are watching one of their own get jumped. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? They're going to sit down quietly and say, oh, guys, stop. No. What do you think is going to happen? I'm concerned about what's going to come after this whole thing. I'm hoping that people can see it for what it is. A group of people looking to defend somebody who was being jumped. One of their own being jumped. They have that song that came out a couple of weeks ago. Everybody's been singing. It's kind of popular. Try that in a small town. Yeah, I didn't watch the video. I didn't even listen to the song. Not really concerned about it. But if you come into a small town, be it black, white, Asian, Native American, Caribbean, Haitian, Jamaican, Dominican, you come into a neighborhood like that and you looking to turn up on one of their own, they will respond in kind to defend their own. Sad situation. Funny sometimes. There's some funniness around it, but sad situation. Make no mistake, this is probably not going to be over just yet, but I am glad that the police did what they were supposed to do by arresting the people who jumped the riverboat co-captain. I'm extremely excited about that because if this was 10 years ago, they probably would not have been arrested. For sure, if it was in the 60s, they would have been down there with the dogs, the hoses, right? Throwing everybody of dark pigmentation in jail. Well, those who initiated the violence got away. And make no mistake, it was those people who owned that small boat who initiated the violence. And when the violence was brought to them, they weren't ready for it. So what's the moral of the story, people? What's the moral of the story? Don't start none. There won't be none. Don't start none. There won't be none. If you can't intelligently explain your case with words and you throw the first blow, don't be upset if you get knocked out. I heard this too, all right? I'm not sure if Alabama's an open carry state. I'm not sure if it's a concealed carry state. But I am glad that nobody there pulled out a gun and started shooting. I am happy that didn't happen, which it could have. It could have. This is one of the reasons why I think, like, when you mix alcohol and group dynamics, stupidness tends to happen. Give people alcohol, put them in the midst of people that look like them, and all it takes is for one person that looks like them to turn up, and then the hive comes together in their defense. But in this situation, it should have happened that way. It should have happened that way. So, moral of the story, again, don't start none. There won't be none. There is no need for anybody to be violent. If you cannot intelligently speak your case, make your claim, back away, and leave with your dignity intact, because those people, their dignity was stripped away from them. Stripped away. Their boat should have been towed. They should have spent a couple of nights in jail. If they haven't, I heard from what I read today, everybody was released. It's sad, but what are you going to do? This is America. This is not the first situation that happened this way. It probably won't be the last. Hopefully it would be, but it probably won't be. But the outcome gives me hope that the police arrested the thugs that initiated this violence. Hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And thank you so much for watching. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm trying to remember. If you're not part of the Harrison Extended family, you can do so by hitting the subscribe button and the bell notification, so it'll let you know when I go live and when I upload new videos. Like I'm going live right now, you get the notification. As well, if you would like to support the channel, there's a couple of ways you can support the channel. You can join our Patreon by going to patreon.com/Harrison Family Values and selecting one of those tiers there that help us financially every month. Or you can just simply go down below and click the membership button down below, and you can be a channel member and support the channel that way. Or you can purchase some of our merch. If you scroll down below to this video, you should see some merch. You can purchase the merch. And but I like that way better, because what that does is it allows you to get something in return. So instead of you just giving me free money, you get a shirt, a cup, something like that, and you support the channel that way as well. So keep your hands to yourself. Okay, just because you got like 4 people with you, you think you're big and bad. Just stop for a second, because you may have 3 or 4 people behind you, right, ready to go to bat, but that person, unbeknownst to you, could have 20, 30. And then what? If you can't intelligently speak your case, back away with your dignity intact. And with that said, I am out. So until the next upload, live stream, I'm out. Peace.